Hey everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this video today, I'm talking about the future of FNAF. One thing that I didn't really like about Security Breach is about how overwhelming the Pizzaplex is. There was so much rooms and themes throughout the Pizzaplex that didn't really have any use. Most of them could have deserved their very own FNAF game. And to be honest, that mainly just gives the future FNAF games less breathing room and less ideas to work with. But with that said, let's go ahead and try to predict what's going to be the future of FNAF. Now let's start with the obvious things, the FNAF DLC and the FNAF Movie. The DLC will be coming in 2023, and according to Jason Blum, we are dangerously close to more FNAF news, even though he said that like a couple months ago. And I know a lot of y'all don't even think that the FNAF movie's ever gonna come out since it's been in the works for like 7 or 6 years now. Plus, with Scott Cawthon no longer being a part of FNAF, we don't even know if he's still working on the FNAF movie. Although, based off of what Jason Blum has been saying pretty recently, it seems like he's still very dedicated to get this movie out to us. So to be honest, I still have hope for this movie. My best prediction is that it will be coming in 2024 or 2025. Although I did make a whole other video all about the FNAF movie, so make sure to go check that out if you're still wanting to know more. But now let's go back to talking about the DLC. Now, we already know that's going to be coming out in 2023, but based off of how long we have until then, I predict that's going to be pretty early 2023 as well. And also, the fact that it's going to be free is super cool. I really respect Steel Wool Studios for making the DLC free. And as far as the mystery goes on who this new protagonist is, I personally think that's either one of these two people. It's either Elizabeth Afton or it's just a brand new character. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see, because it seems like YouTubers have already picked apart this picture as much as they could. So with the FNAF DLC and the FNAF movie out of the way, what other things are practically confirmed for the future of FNAF? Well, let's not forget about the Fanverse initiative. So for the one person watching this video who doesn't know what the Fazbear Fanverse initiative is, pretty much a lot of people who already make FNAF fan games get paid by Scott Cawthon to make more FNAF fan games. Except this time, there's merchandising. In all seriousness though, I do really like the Fazbear Fanverse initiative because we're going to be getting games like Five Nights at Candy's 4 and Pop Goes Evergreen. And I know there's been a lot of controversy with this initiative, but I'm not going to be going over that because the last thing y'all need more in y'all's life is more drama. Now, I could make a whole nother video talking all about the FNAF Fanverse and how it pretty much changed what we thought a FNAF fan game could be. And I think that FNAF fan games are only going to get more and more higher quality. I mean, look at one of the most popular recent FNAF fan games Afton built. That one has like a huge map, huge story, and lots of details, and it's also like a free roam. Compare that to just a couple years ago, whenever FNAF fan games were just a lot of JPEGs trying to break into your office. The Fanverse has definitely changed how the future of FNAF fan games will be. But at the end of the day, those are just fan games. What about the real FNAF games? Well, I feel like the next main title FNAF game will probably come out in 2024 or 2025, kind of like the FNAF movie. And the only reason I think this is because of how long we had to wait for Security Breach. Since Security Breach was very free-roamed and it was sort of buggy because of it, I feel like this next FNAF game will most likely have some free-roam elements, but it probably won't be as free-roam as FNAF Security Breach was. So then what's going to be the next theme for this next FNAF game? Well, to be honest, I think we're still too early into Security Breach's release to fully come up with what is the next FNAF title. But personally, I would like it to be probably Circus Baby related, especially because of the leaks that's been happening with Funko Pop pretty recently. These leaks are very weird to me because it says stuff like Balloon Freddy, Circus Bonnie, Circus Foxy, Circus Chica, and all that stuff. So I'm confused on how that could fit into Security Breach. So what if instead it's just for a whole other FNAF game? Now, I know, that is a pretty big stretch to say that all of these are for a whole new FNAF game that hasn't been announced or hasn't been talked about at all yet. But just hear me out, the FNAF lore is very big, very complicated, but most of all, really thought out. And that most likely means that Steel Wool Studios needs to know what they're going to be doing for the future FNAF games and the future of FNAF lore. That way they know what sort of details and clues to put out in the present. And currently in the lore, Fazbear Entertainment is making lots of money and gaining lots of popularity because of this Pizzaplex. So it wouldn't be surprising if the next game takes place in a different building that Fazbear Entertainment makes that's Circus Baby related. And that's where the Circus Freddy and Circus Bonnie and all of them would come into play. And before you get all angry and start typing in the comments that, oh, this is wrong because all the circus animatronics are from FNAF 5, technically that's not the case. In FNAF 5, we have the Funtime animatronics, not the circus animatronics. The circus animatronics are most likely something completely new, especially whatever Balloon Freddy is supposed to be. Now there's also a chance that those are just animatronics coming to FNAF AR, but I don't know, I feel like FNAF AR is kind of dead at this point. It hasn't gotten an update in a while. But with all that said, let's move on to a different idea on a future FNAF game. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I would really like to see a FNAF game all about the Sun and Moon animatronics. I feel like they could have been used a little bit more throughout Security Breach. So why not give them their very own FNAF game and lore? I mean, there was a whole FNAF animation all about the origins of the Sun and Moon animatronics, and to be honest, that couple-minute animation had more blood than the entire FNAF Security Breach game. That animation alone was what made me think that the Sun and Moon animatronics deserve their own FNAF game. Even if they don't get their own game, I would still like to see more lore about them explored in the future. Like, why does the Moon animatronic attack kids? Who even made the Sun and Moon animatronic in the first place? We know for a fact that the Moon animatronic attacked kids well before Vanny tried to hack it, based off of the little messages that Gregory gets on his watch. And speaking of Vanny trying to hack the animatronics, that's one thing that I would like to see in the future of FNAF. More Vanny. Now I know I've said this in almost every single FNAF video, but still, we need to see more Vanny. She was barely used in Security Breach. So surely at this point, Steel Wool Studios has heard all our backlash and will put Vanny in future FNAF games. Who knows, maybe she'll even be a part of the DLC. And also, another thing that I seem to say in almost every single one of my FNAF videos is that FNAF Security Breach needed more blood, needed more horror, so hopefully in future FNAF games they end up adding back the horror that made FNAF so popular in the first place. But what about the future of FNAF lore-wise? Well, I feel like for the future of the FNAF lore, we need to go more in depth about the people who work at Fazbear Entertainment. I think we need Fazbear Entertainment to be less of a company in that world and more of a group of people, each of them with their own feelings and personalities and all of that. And to be honest, we might start getting more lore like that since we already know that there is one mystery person who's a higher up in Fazbear Entertainment who ended up promoting Vanessa into a security guard position. Now that just wouldn't make sense if it was Glitch Trap because Glitch Trap isn't a physical thing. Instead, maybe there's a higher up at Fazbear Entertainment who ended up getting mind controlled by Glitch Trap as well, or something like that. I mean, who knows, I still like MatPat's idea about how there should be a cult of Glitch Traps. But no matter what the future holds for FNAF, it will probably still be good. I mean, it's FNAF after all, when has it not been good? And whether or not Scott Cawthon passed down the torch, or if he's secretly just still the leader of everything FNAF, I truly think that this franchise is in good hands. And with that said, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy, and I will be seeing y'all in the next video. Goodbye.